DDEV and econ. So in the last speech, my opponent stated that we never showed why our cards are better than theirs. We actually did, because our cards are specific. They spread it out by advantages. First, economic advantage, environmental advantage, and terrorism advantage. They're bringing up really general arguments, such as the DDEV plan, which wants to disband the whole government. This links to our critique, because we're saying that when you just throw out as many arguments as possible, you get a bunch of unrealistic arguments out there that the only way to argue against them within the time frame of 8 minutes is to just look for evidence and read the evidence and say, no, their plan is actually false, and it's false because of these reasons cited some author. We don't go into analysis on the plan. It's evidence battles. That's not how it should be for policy debate, even for policy debate. We're not enumerate here. I've done debate for 4 years, and I know how to do policy debate. I mean, even if you look at our evidence that we read out in the critique, we said that a speed contest is uneducational. Like, debate has been going more and more towards flowing and spreading and just throwing as many arguments out there as possible in the constructive. That is a problem. We say this critique is saying the direction debate is headed in general, the policy debate, is the problem. That's what we're facing in today's round. We're the only team that he may have seen not spread, because we stick to the values of original policy debate. We want education, and we want our communication skills to be improved. The effects or implications of the critique or framework are that, first of all, we're excluded from this debate. If they read out, let's say, even 7 or 8 big arguments, their arguments they're bringing up like a critique, they're bringing up 2 disadvantages, they're bringing up a counter plan, they're bringing up topicality, they're bringing up another argument, solvency, 10 cards. I mean, this is a lot of cards that we took the full cross-examination plus our full prep time to even grasp and answer, because we want to go in depth. We don't want to just bring up evidence and just read evidence and say, oh, they're false because of these reasons. We need to analyze the true reasons behind why plans are false or why they're good. We need to weigh the advantages and disadvantages. It is intentional exclusion. We shouldn't exclude debaters just because we want to be realistic and we want to have some real-world relevance. We shouldn't be excluded from the debate. Our Morris evidence said that the emergence of arguments virtually devoid of real-world relevance has increased because of the increased rate of delivery. Their DDEV argument is an example. Are we really going to dissolve our government in 13 years just because some author says? There are always philosophers that say things can be done, but that's not going to be done in the real world. We're trying to see what will be done in the real world. After we get out of this high school policy debate, what are we going to be able to accomplish? So that's one effect, is inclusion. The second is education. I mean, spreading hurts is communication. We can't analyze their problem in like the DDEV. We can just analyze it without evidence. We can say this is completely false because unrealistic argument. This will never occur in real life. And they hurt our education. And the alternative is just to drop them from this debate. Because they're not agreeing. They're saying, okay, we'll not spread in the rebuttals, we'll just spread in the constructive. But that's where the problem starts. If you throw out 50 arguments in the constructive, we have to throw out another 50 pieces of evidence, and it's a cycle. It builds on top of each other. So we get excluded from the debate, and there's no education in the end. That's the problem. Debate is for personal development. It's not to win this tournament. The point of this high school debate is to be educated. And by throwing out arguments to young people, they said, oh, after I read my 2NC, these young people are much more educated. I don't think that's true. Just because they floated down doesn't mean they've absorbed the arguments, and these thoughts about the VAIL program and the FAA, those aren't in their head. They're just on paper now. Oh, this team dropped this argument, and they said this. And finally, the problem is with dropping. They say the only reason teams win nowadays is because they say, oh, this team dropped the so-and-so argument, therefore they lose the whole debate. Even if there are very good arguments on the other side, you can just say, oh, one argument has been dropped, therefore the whole debate is gone. So that's another problem that's emerged with this philosophy. So the speech critique is just saying that spreading and this talking fast is just the wrong principle to have in debate. We have to talk slowly, and we have to analyze depth rather than breadth. If we had more time, we would have been able to go more in detail in each argument that they brought up, analyze it, and debate the advantages and disses. Now I'll just be briefly summarizing our case and why you should vote for today. So we have 3 advantages: economics, terrorism, and the environment. First of all, economics. The $41 billion is not a new piece of evidence. It's that the delays are $41 to $51 billion a year. So by implementing these $80 billion worth of grants, we can help relieve those delays. And finally, then we have the environmental advantage, VAIL program, reduced emissions, and then terrorism, security measures.
All right.
Thank you. All right,
Fantastic job.